Karina from Darkstar Astrology, bringing you the monthly horoscopes for February, and it's Valentine's month, so I'm doing a little special on that, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm going to try and keep these very short and snappy as I did with the moon, and I'll just give you the highlights, and if you want to read the rest, just come to the post and I'll leave the link below. So this month, the main thing is Mars and Venus, and that's what I'm going to be concentrating on for the February forecast. There's also a list of all the aspects that form in the month as well. But the main one is that Mars is going to be in Aries, and so it's going to be incredibly strong there. Venus is also busy as well because it's going to be conjuncting all the planets, 3 points in Capricorn as well. And Venus will be obviously in Capricorn for this month too. But really, the month itself, it starts with a Mars square Pluto, which is incredibly predatory, but very handy if you're in pursuit of a date on February the 14th. Now, Mars square Pluto marries sex with power, since the dynamism of the hard aspect will pull out these planets' most domineering qualities, but negative, this aspect makes the bully or a ruthless dictator, but more positively it endows steel guts and the depth courage of a survivor. Now on the post you'll see all the dates for when Venus makes all these contacts with planets in Capricorn. First of all, Venus makes an exciting trine to Uranus on February the 2nd before it moves into Taurus for the next 7 years. And then, so you'll probably see some passionate farewells on that day, but also some new starts as well. Mars conjunct Eris on February the 3rd could see some apple bombs thrown by a spurned lover. Hell hath no fury, as they say. So especially when Eris is wronged or exiled. Also, Sun conjunct Lilith on February the 9th plays out as the ego feeling exiled from the dominant culture system as well. But this sometimes can be as a result of actual abuse from authority figures too. Now, the aspect of the month is called the Valentine's Grenade, and that will be on the same day as Mars conjunct Uranus, and I've written a whole post on that as well, so you can see what that is all about in more detail. But that's on February the 13th. Now, hopefully these bombs that are dropped on Valentine's Day will just be metaphorical, and someone could admit to having an affair or come clean that they've been living a lie concerning the choice of their partner. And so, yeah, I think basically that's all I'm going to say for February. Just if you want to know more, all the dates are on the post and I will give the link below. But let's see how this affects all the signs. So here's the Valentine Day transits and aspects for Aries. So Mars conjunct Uranus in your own sign could send thrilling shockwaves through your body. This could be a Kundalini awakening or just an out-of-the-blue fling with an old flame before Uranus leaves Aries for good. Think of it as a fanfare and a bone-shaking farewell. It could also be one last blow-up that actually brings closure to a relationship. For Taurus, Mars conjunct Uranus falls in your house of self-undoing or mysticism. Sometimes it can be both if you get sucked into a cult. This could have you breaking free from addictions such as alcohol or a toxic relationship. Maybe you are in a relationship with an addict or someone who does not look after their own health. This is the point where you declare that you are not willing to be their nurse any longer and they will have to learn to look after themselves. For Gemini, Mars conjunct Uranus in your friend zone could mean an unexploded bomb is found under someone you always considered platonic. Maybe you have always wondered about it, but your friend has always given you the impression that you are both safely in the friend zone in more ways than astrologically. You now have to think very carefully if you want to risk making a valuable friendship awkward. So for Cancer, don't lose your head or your morals at any office leaving parties, as Mars conjunct Uranus will become that hissing hand grenade inside the stationery store. A lot more than paper clips and rubber bands could be sent flying if you succumb to temptation from a work colleague, or worse still, the married boss. Since Uranus is about to leave Aries, it could just be someone wanting to have a final fling before they take off, but the repercussions will stay with you forever. For Leo, Mars conjunct Uranus can be really exciting in your 9th house of holidays, religion and wisdom. You might have a grand epiphany moment concerning a new romance at this time. If you'd gone abroad, the distance will help you see the bigger picture of your life, and you'll have a space and time to think. The change of perspective could make you see that there are other options and there is no need to stay trapped in a toxic relationship. On the other hand, you might realise that you made a mistake splitting up from someone and have the urge to suddenly contact them. So for Virgo, Mars conjunct Uranus pulls a dragon for you to slay out of your 8th house of the taboo and psyche. You may get bitten very badly by a vampire at the conjunction, especially while at the same time Venus is getting very frisky indeed in your 5th house of love affairs. This is difficult because it will be very hard for this setup to become a long-term relationship. As much as Venus conjunct Saturn wants it to be, this is most definitely, though, a karmic relationship, so it will feel very serious even if the lover in question just doesn't want to commit. For Venus, get ready for a sudden Cupid's arrow to the heart with Mars conjunct Uranus in your marriage zone. This is the classic out-of-the-blue romance that escalates to the physical very quickly. Va-va-voom indeed. Do check that the person who ignited the dormant volcano of your love life is who they say they are, though, before you get too excited, because this can also be the classic love bombing aspect too. Fireworks will go off and you will be totally enamoured by this person. So for Scorpio, watch your health while Mars conjunct Uranus is in your work and fitness zone. You could come down with sudden inflammation or a fever that makes you foggy-headed. And of course, that song Fever was written for you this month. Now, do get someone who is more balanced and strong to do any heavy lifting up a ladder, because you will be extra accident prone at this time. And you could also lash out at someone too. Since we are focused on love this month, you might accidentally fall into a co-worker's arms also. And as this will aspect in the 10th house of career, you will need to be careful of making any ew moves on a colleague. For Sagittarius, Mars conjunct Uranus can be fun and flirty if you keep it light-hearted. Of course, Mars and Uranus in the house of love affairs and plain old hookups are prone to get pretty racy if you let it. Just make sure the amour in question is nice and clean outside and below the belt as well. You don't want to risk a nasty disease. Mars is passionate but causes fevers and inflammation. Uranus can also be kinky and shocking. It's so easy to get carried away with this aspect and really make impulsive decisions that you regret later. Sorry to be such a party pooper. You can still have fun. I'm just playing the Venus conjunct Saturn in your house of self-esteem for you. So for Capricorn, on the positive side, Mars conjunct Uranus brings excitement and passion into your home, especially if you are in a long-term relationship, which is loyal and loving. Marriages of 20 years plus can lose their sparkle with the daily grind of life, but this aspect can give you the shot in the arm that more freedom-seeking charts desire. So if that is you, you will love this. It could also help you let off steam from all the action in your own sign of Capricorn, and Venus will remind you of the presence of the planetary policemen, Saturn and Pluto, that are in your sign. For Aquarius, Mars conjunct Uranus could bring the unexpected to your neighbourhood when it comes to love.
Passion comes to you by accident, and this could be because you take the wrong route home and end up having to ask directions in a strange area. Or it could be the archetypical Hollywood rom-com, bumping into someone with your coffee and it's, "Oh, I'm so sorry, ding dong." It might be something like that. With this scenario, accidents are a pleasant thing. So in your house of communications and local journeys, this stick of dynamite probably does the least damage. And lastly, for Pisces, do something weird that will boost your self-esteem. Yep, seriously, that would be a great way for Mars conjunct Uranus to jazz up your love life. Maybe you spend a large amount of cash on a new wardrobe or a radical new haircut. Whatever it is, it will be something that helps others see you in a new light. So for example, if you normally dress trashy, go all out Chanel with the pink twin set and pearls. Hopefully you can pull off a Jackie O rather than a Margaret Thatcher, but hey, whatever gets you attention. Or do the opposite like Olivia Newton-John did in Greece, and that way you will attract a different sort of partner, which could be a good or bad thing, I guess. So those were the horoscopes, just a little taster. There's far more on the website, so go and check those out.
So that brings me to the end. Do come to Darkstar Astrology, and every sign has a way more detailed report. So check out your monthly horoscopes there, and also the moons and all that jazz, everything else. All right then, all the best. See you next time. Bye-bye.